Last week I talked about truth, the capital T truth. I started to talk about the capital T truth. The truth, not our individual truths, but the capital T truth, which is the truth that will set you free. Don't you want to know that truth? Don't you want to know? Because I want to be free. Or the capital T truth that the Buddhists in Buddhism that's talk about the end of suffering. Wouldn't that be nice? The end of suffering, not to suffer and not to be free. That's what I want, right, Brandy? That's what we want right there. We want that. But what I talked about is, there's not really a way to find the truth, and I didn't really tell you what the truth is. Maybe I will today, maybe not. But we won't really find the truth. We just need to wake up. We need to wake up to the truth. Wake up to the truth. And the first thing that I talked about last week was about stop believing everything your mind tells you. Stop trying to figure everything out. That's what the mind does, and if it's figuring out how to get to Spiritual Soul Center on Sunday by taking the correct turns, great. The mind is great for that. The mind is great for that. But the mind figuring out truth, not so great. Not so great. Because that's not what it's built for. That's not what it's built for. The mind is built for figuring out things in the physical world, but is it really built for figuring out anything that's unseen? Maybe not. I say no, it's not. The mind is not for that. So truth is not something you figure out, and so the mind is not where it's going to happen. The mind does not do that. The mind is not the place you're going to know truth, and the mind is not the place where truth will come from. Well, you can believe it or not, but that's where I'm starting. That's where I'm starting. So, but before we leave the mind, I want to share with you this. Let me see what page I'm on. I have too many notes in here. I need to look at my page now. The mind is not bad, and there is nothing wrong with the mind. Okay? It's not like we have to get out of our minds in order to know truth. No, we just have to realize that it's not the right tool. It's not the right tool to know truth. Let me read this to you. To your mind and body, there will always be a space between it and everything else. Because that's what the mind does. It separates things, this and that, up and down, black and white. And yet, I want to share with you that this isn't even true scientifically. It's not scientifically true. The interconnectedness of all things is now the scientific view of the universe. It's called quantum theory. Quantum theory has revolutionized how we understand reality in our physical world. The implications are so striking that one of the founders, Niels Bohr, commented like this. He said, anyone who is not shocked by quantum mechanics has not fully understood it. All right? How many people know about quantum physics and quantum mechanics? A few of you do, yeah. Are you shocked? You should be, according to Palmer. You should be, because here it is. Physicists have found that the scientific discovery of non-locality and wave-particle duality verifies that everything is joined or connected together. Everything is joined and connected together. Everything. Space and time is composed of the same essence as matter. Space and time. Space and time is composed of the same thing. There is nothing that is separate from anything else. He says, did you get that? Space and time is composed of the same essence as matter. He says, ponder that for a few minutes and then continue reading. Should we sit for a while? Bell's theorem, there is this law in quantum physics that says, once connected, objects affect one another forever no matter where they are. Once connected, we affect each other and the universe, the quantum universe, wherever we are. This means that everything is connected to everything else and that the physical reality of every object includes both the density of its individual particles and the waves that connects it to everything else. All the time. No separation. I love the mind-blown emoji. It should blow our minds. The quantum field is the web that connects all life, energy, matter, and existence into a single system. Everything we experience has a single interconnected source. One. You're going, yeah, I know that. No, you don't. I don't know that. Really? Really? Everything is one. There is no separation between anything. He goes on to explain. He said, you're sitting here, the table is over there. You think there's a space between you and that table, but there is no space between you and that table, because space exists in quarks and waves and the same as you do, and you are connected to every single thing. All the time. There's only one. There's only one. Science says that. Science says that. Not spirituality, not belief in God. Science has proven, which is why Niels Bohr says, if you are not shocked, you really don't understand what it means or how it could be. Do you feel your mind trying to make sense of it right now? Trying to think, yeah. We live in this world that we see, and we admire rugged individualism, don't we? Oh, I'm going to do this with my life, and it's my life, and I've done this, and I've accomplished that, and it's me, me, me. You haven't done a darn thing that's not separated from the whole thing that is. You haven't, and I haven't, and no one ever has, including the people who discovered this. Like, there is nothing. That's that quote that's on my computer that I've shared with you from the Bible, from the Message Bible, that says, there's not a single thing that I do on my own. Not a single thing. Nothing. As part of the... I get excited about that. I get excited about that. But this is why I tell you, too, that there is everything you do and everything you are, and the idea that the fact that you're here matters to the whole, because it can't not matter. Because there's only one. There's only one. There is no separation. There is no us and them. There is no separation. There's only one living, what I call cosmic pulse of life. That's it. That's it. Mind blown. Mind blown. So how can this help us understand the capital T truth? Right? That's the transition I want to make. How does this help me understand the capital T truth? Well, keep this in mind, because the mind does a good job at some things, just not everything. It's not the tool for everything. But now, listen to this. If I can catch my breath. Inside your human cockpit, that's what we have, it appears that there is a gap between all things. Right? You're going to say, well, Paula, look, nothing here. I mean, it appears that there's a gap. What you falsely believe about the physical world is the same logic you apply to the spiritual world. It's false logic. It's false logic to believe that there is separation of anything. You imagine that God's kingdom, truth, peace, well-being are separate from you, and that there's some space or gap that you have to negotiate to get there. Listen, you are not separate from God or peace and well-being, but every day you suffer because you imagine that you are. Every day you strive to overcome or close a gap that isn't real. Because if there's only one, how can you ever be separate from it? How can you ever be separate? You are not separate from God, and you never were separate from God. You are asleep in the dream, by the way, in the dream of separation, while being safely at home. Your mind can't know this. It can't. It can only read the human cockpit instructions that you give it. It's not too deep for y'all. I know you're getting this. I know you're getting this. Existence is already peace, contentment, freedom. It's already there. It's done. We're not separate from it. We don't have to find it. We don't have to search for it. We have to read another book, go to another seminar. You can walk out of here right now and you'll find it quicker. Not listening to someone talk about it, because you know it already. So let's have a little experiment together. All right, let's have a little experience together. I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath and close your eyes. And get comfortable for a minute. Take a couple breaths in and out. Breaths in and out. And I want you to imagine this huge ship crashing through the waves in the ocean, disturbing the surface of the ocean, like crash, crash. And think of that ocean and waves as your mind, because that's what happens in our mind, isn't it? Golly, we have emotions, we have stories we tell ourselves, things that are happening, we get mad at somebody, we have a difficult time with something. Our life feels like that. It's disturbed. On the surface of the water, it's disturbed. You can see that, you can feel that, can't you? That's what it's like. But here's what I want you to imagine now. I want you to imagine that you can go, in your imagination, go down a mile below the surface. Find yourself going down, down, below the crashing waves, into the deep dark. Go even further. Go like 7 miles down. 7 miles. Sinking. Going down to the depth of 7 miles. At this depth, it's the same water, but no disturbance. Nothing is disturbed at all by the surface crashing of waves and the ship tossing. Deep down is the center of all things. All the mind stuff happens on the surface. But 7 miles down, at the center of all things, it's deep and still and calm. Peace, contentment, freedom. Same water. Same water. Not in the mind, way back up there on the surface, but deep in you as you are. It's not necessary for you to have a waveless life in order to have peace and happiness. Why? Because true peace and well-being is not the result of achieving a smooth and placid and waveless surface. True peace and happiness stem from understanding how life works and recognizing the way things really are. Things are not as they appear. It appears that life is one crashing wave after another, but that's not true. The way it really is involves recognizing that this same water is actually still and calm at the deepest level. The surface is always going to have waves, and yet beneath the surface, what Palmer calls your original self, your soul, is undisturbed. Listen, you do not have to quiet the waves on the surface to create the stillness and the calmness and the peace. It's already there, and it never goes away. It never goes away. Your original self is peace, is well-being, is freedom, is contentment, and whatever shows up in your human experience neither enhances or diminishes it. There will always be the ups and downs of the human experience. That's the nature of it. It's a roller coaster rise, but in the depths of who you really are, you are peace. You are contentment. You are freedom. You are well-being. And this fact about your original self is always true, and the self cannot be disturbed. It is untouched by the impermanent and transitory nature of the external world. The real you, the truth, you already are. Come back here with me now. Come back up out of the depth. Come back here. Can you believe that? Can we? I can't even say, can you believe? Did you have an experience? That's why he says, throw this book away, because you can probably get to the truth a lot quicker not reading it. Like, could I tell you anything more than... But how do we practice that? Because, you know what, we live on the surface. I do. Several of you told me when you came in here, I got this going on, I got that. Yeah, we're at the surface. The ship is crashing in the waves. I mean, crashing in the waves. We think we're separate. We think we're separate from the essence of that. We think we're separate from, to me, what I call God, the cosmic pulse of life. Never separate. Can't be separate. So what do we do? What do we do in the meantime? Because I think that's why what happens a lot at Spiritual Soul Center, I hope, is say, well, what do we do though? Yes, and this and what do I do in the meantime? Like, how do I know that more often? You know, it's not about finding enlightenment. Like I said, it's not about understanding. It's not about reading another book. It's not about going to another seminar. It's not. This week, as often happens when I'm getting ready for this, I was flipping through some jar cards that we used to have here, and I found this from Lori Pusey, who gave a quote from Eckhart Tolle. And I'm going to replace the word peace in this quote with truth, because that's what I'm talking about. And those of you who were at Coffee and Conversation yesterday know, if you don't like a word, just cross it out and use your own word. If that's what helps you, that's what you do. So I'm crossing out peace and I'm putting truth in here. And here's what it says. Don't look for truth. The moment you completely accept your life as it is, your truth becomes transmuted, your life becomes transmuted into truth. Anything you accept fully will get you there, will take you into truth. This is the miracle of surrender. Don't look for truth. Don't expect Paula to tell you truth. Don't expect myself to understand truth with my mind. It's not going to happen. Stop looking. The moment you completely accept your life as it is, your life becomes transmuted into truth. Meaning, to me, it becomes transmuted into peace and contentment and freedom. It becomes that. It becomes that. If I accept fully what it is, I will get there. It will take me to truth. That is the miracle of surrender. Surrender to what? Surrender to the moment now. That's it. If we can just remember to bring ourselves back to the moment, to bring ourselves back to the moment. But I do have a list I want to share with you as well. Here are some ideas to keep in mind as you bring yourself back to the moment. All right? Stay. It's a 2-pager. Here. These are some reminders. These are some... Be in the moment. Just be in the moment, Paula. It'll be okay. Be in the moment now. There we go. Just stay with the moment. Just stay with the moment. Looky there. Here we go. Don't believe everything you think. I mean, let's just start there. We could spend a lifetime just doing that. Don't believe everything you think. Last week I talked about stop the commentary. Stop the commentary. I read you the story about, if it's raining, take an umbrella. Take an umbrella, put a raincoat on. It doesn't have to be a rainy day. How terrible it is. Don't get hung up on concepts or beliefs. Don't get hung up on, well, I was told that this. Don't get hung up on them. Just don't get hung up on them. Come on, don't judge other people. Don't judge yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be humble. Practice compassion. Determine not to hurt others intentionally. This is from Jim's book, by the way. Quiet the mind, but don't eliminate thinking. Just quiet the mind. The mind is meant to think. We don't have to eliminate our thinking. Just quiet the mind. Quiet the mind. Surrender to life as it is. Oh, the sticky backs wasn't working. What? Surrender to life as it is. That is huge. That is huge. You're going through a difficult time right now. Surrendering to that? Yeah, right, Paula. You want to say. Surrender to life as it is. These are the things to remember if I want to know the truth. Because I can't know it with my mind. I cannot know it with my mind. It's not possible. There is only one. Scientifically proven, translated to the spiritual realm as well. Because guess what? It's the same realm. It's the same realm. And that's how we be free, how we be well, how we be content, and how we be peace. Just some ideas about the day-to-day life, how we engage. Besides doing this little meditation about the crashing ship and taking yourself down 7 miles to know it's the same water. It's not different water, it's the same water. You're already that. What does he say? All you have to do is wake up. All you have to do. What we have to do is wake up. There's nothing wrong with the moment. There's nothing wrong with the moment. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong. There's life as it is. There's ways of engaging in our human form. And there is a way to experience the oneness that is. That's freedom. That's freedom.